welcome to another edition of the Stache and Beard Show, mother.
Yeah! Live from fucking Fort Lauderdale.
Because it's the vanilla smell, so it smells like...
the vanilla, I mean...
Yeah, it's the hazelnut. I f***ing hate that.
Yeah,
I love you, but I hate that.
But no, I don't smoke this early in the morning.
This guy
that early.
This guy had breakfast. Are we recording? Yeah! Let's go!
I love it. I love it.
Let's go!
What did I do at breakfast?
I didn't realize your love for creamer until breakfast.
Yeah.
Because
7 creamers.
Because
I like that you know that.
Because you made it abundantly clear.
But in a certain size of coffee.
Right.
At diner coffee, their cups are usually 3 creamers.
Right. You, Chad, and I, and Jess and Tara were at breakfast, and we had the 3 most different coffee orders of all time because you had your creamer, half creamer, half coffee.
Yeah, pretty much. A latte.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Chad had just a shit ton of sugar.
Which he's normally just a black coffee drinker. That was the first time I've seen him.
Is he really?
First time I've seen him pour sugar.
I was gonna say because mine was my order is always black coffee, cup of ice water, so I could take a couple ice cubes, dunk it in, cool it off a little bit for faster consumption. So we had black coffee, all sugar, all creamer.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on?
Oh yeah, I'm adamant. And then the diner, I know you've heard this story. The diner I go to, those ladies are on 5-minute shifts. Do you need a warm up? Ma'am, I didn't even take a sip. Leave me alone. So then it's like I drink half of it down. I'm like, okay, well 3 creamers to a cup. I'm halfway down. That's 1.5. She comes back. I'm like, well shit. What do? 1 creamer. It tastes off. So I'm like, I put a napkin over it. Leave me the fuck alone. Let me drink it so you're not fucking my math up. Which it sounds so weird to people, but I'm like coffee creamer math, and I'm like, get the fuck away, lady. Like,
you got a way you like your coffee.
That's exactly right.
There we go.
No.
Hey, welcome into the Stache and Beard Show.
What's up, motherfuckers?
That's right. We're a little late this week, but hey, it's okay. Everyone's late sometimes. It is what it is.
Just for a good reason.
Yeah, we had a big weekend, and we had some people competing at different meets. We saw people. We saw world records happen. I've been up for a while.
And that's what it did to us.
We're exhausted. But we are here for you, and we are here with a very special guest. Dang it, this is going to be 2 times in a row that we have a guest that I only know their first name.
With a K.
Oh, it's okay. Her last name is Withak.
What?
It is not.
It's not Withak at all.
Everyone, meet Karie with a K. Hi, Karie. How are you?
I'm good, Austin. How are you?
I'm good.
It's actually herring like a fish. Is the
Herring.
last name.
K. Hey, remember that.
Right.
You're editing this. Remember that.
It goes up as with that.
Yeah, but for Instagram, it's Karie with a K.
Right.
Yes.
It is. Yeah. All of my vanities are that.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why we brought Karie on is because Karie is one of the women who lifts at CTX and competed at the Iron Brawl, which we were calling it the Feb Brawl.
Because it said Feb Brawl. Thank you.
Yeah,
It did.
she did.
She had
Calling
the
it Iron Brawl, but it was the Feb Brawl.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
why we kept saying
Well,
it.
and she had the iron logo.
She changed the iron.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Karie will tell you. We had it correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
we had it correct.
We had it
'cause
correct.
so she used off the periodic table for the FE.
Right.
Which matched February.
Right. Yeah. It all makes sense. It's
The
cohesive.
nerdness. Yeah. It's good.
So we called it the Feb Brawl, but you are right. Like chemistry-wise, iron, which I think you and I even talked about. We talked about how the play on words.
Yeah.
We never called it the Iron Brawl one fucking time. So I don't know. Did she fuck up? Did we fuck up?
Well, it'd be weird if she fucked up.
Huh?
Because it'd be weird if she fucked up because it's her meat.
Yeah. I think we fucked up.
Yeah, we'll take the credit on that one. But
anyway,
the Iron Brawl happened at Iron Compound in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Is it
Fort Lauderdale?
It is
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, I know we were like right on the edge of I don't.
Dania
Beach.
What?
Dania Beach.
That's what it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Dania.
It's not Danya.
I seriously thought it was like Diana. Like,
No.
I had no idea.
Yeah, Dania Beach, and then real close to Miami.
Yeah. And it was an incredible event. It was run really smoothly.
Yeah.
Really happy with how that went. I mean, there have been a number of meets that you've been to. I haven't been to near as many, but, you know, there are definitely meets that go a long time. They had a
Yeah.
lot of lifters, long breaks in between,
Yeah.
and it ran like butter.
They did a good job.
And there were no missed loads. Nobody fell. With spotters were great.
Yep.
It was
no injuries. You always want to take away no injuries. From
absolutely. It was a fantastic meet.
Yeah, they've kind of taken over the Florida market for APF outside of Tommy up in Daytona, but like they're running meets, trying to give back to powerlifters like since COVID shut down the world. But like almost every 2 months they're hosting a meet, so to keep people interested in training and working towards something. So they're doing a really good job down there.
Yeah, and Karie was one of those competitors. How was your week? Your weekend?
It was so, like, the best way I can explain it is close to having children. It's this emotional high, and then this rush of pain and adrenaline, and it's you're constantly it's pure emotional and adrenaline the whole time. So like when I got back to the room on Saturday night afterwards and I took a shower, I was like, oh my, this is what my body feels like now. I'm like, oh my God. And then woke up Sunday and it was like, I told Alan, I'm like, I was hit by a Mack truck and then backed over by a school bus with all those shitty little children. It was like, this is awful. And today it feels fantastic. So yeah, it's good. I'm like, okay, when can we do this again?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Was this your first or?
Yeah, this is my very first. It was a good time.
Her first meet, she pulled the Band-Aid off.
I did. Yeah.
She went and did it.
Put my big girl panties on.
That's right. You did fucking amazing.
What numbers did you hit? And did you hit the numbers you were expecting to hit?
So my deadlift I did not, but I did.
She did though.
So she hit a 264 and decimals squat. Call it 265.
Yeah.
She hit her 143 bench. We bobbled the second, and I didn't give her the number she wanted just quite, and I should have. But
so I went back and watched the video, and he said it. He was like, he leaned in and went, and I was like, you paused.
Yeah.
And as soon as I hit, he went, and I was like, say the rest because I'm pressing anyway. Fuck you.
I'm doing it.
She smoked her second attempt, but she got red lighted. And the history of me coaching you guys, if you miss a lift, I don't care. It's a retake. But in this instance, which is funny because this is what started this. Oh, I'll go up. She smoked it, and I was like, oh, based off that, she's got her next one. Mm-hmm. So I took her up, and I'm sitting there teetering. I was like 43, 47, 40, and I was like, fuck it, let's go 43. Close to the number she had wanted. She wanted to walk out with 145.
Yeah.
She would have blown out 147, but I went 143 to be safe because for the first time, I think in 6 years, I took one of you guys up on a previous miss, and that all goes back to Sarah.
Yeah.
Her very first competition, she bombed out of her very first meet because she blew her opener out of the water, but she beat the press. And I said, oh, f it, she's got her next one, and then she didn't. And so she bombed out, and I told myself I'm never doing that again. I don't give a shit if you make it look easy, but we still got red lights, you're redoing it just to keep the total, because God forbid if you don't go up and get it on your third attempt.
Right.
But I don't know what it was. Like, I guess through training with her, and like I knew she had the fucking lift. I was like, we'll go up a little bit.
Pissed I was.
That too.
Chad told
that
you.
Too.
Yeah, so.
That too. So, but yeah, then her last deadlift was we got it, but it was a red light also for a up down command. But we let her fight with that one. Talk about that one.
So that one. So going into that third pull, we were in the back warming up, and I felt it. My glute was just. It locked up on me, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a problem. But I was like, nope, don't let it get to me, and as soon as I went out there, I felt it, and it tightened up, and as soon as I pulled, it locked up, so my whole body just kind of wrenched this way to the right, and I was like, shit. And I didn't even realize it was that slight down, and it's so minuscule. Like I had to rewatch the video a couple of times that my husband took, and I was like, son of a bitch. But I was just like, I'm not putting the bar down. Nope, I'm not doing it. Like that's the one thing I'll never do is I will not put the bar down unless I just can't get it off the floor. So pulled it all the way to the top. So
it was awesome seeing you finish it.
Thank you.
You put everything into that.
Oh, I did. I was not going to let the bar down at all. I couldn't do it. So
that's something like you have to see her in training, and you have to know, not just her, but your athletes. Like, and I told her afterwards, you can't teach that. Like you know, I can talk to you guys like, oh, what do you want? And, you know, how bad do you want it type of thing? And like, you know, I can't teach you guys to grind. You could want 330 all day long, and some people will touch it and be like, oh, that was heavy, I'll stop. Yeah. She didn't give a shit. Yeah. I can't teach that. That's, you know, genetics. That's mom and dad that gave that to her type of thing. And, you know, when I see her in training, like when she's benching, when she's squatting, don't fucking, until she goes back down, don't take her bar, because she's going to fucking fight for it. So that was neat to see on the platform for her first one, and just giving her fucking all. So that was amazing.
Yeah. It felt good. And you know, and it was sad too, because like I walked up to the group and everyone like had these sad faces, like you got red lighted on your third lift, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I fought for that, and then I pissed all over the platform so I didn't have to go use those shitty porta potties anymore. I was like, this is a godsend. I'm like, I feel bad for poor Robert, because like he had to clean up after me, but I was like, this is fantastic. Like this is a win all day long.
Absolutely.
You know, so it was a good time. Yeah.
No, and I told you even leading into that, like that's how okay with that situation everybody is. Yeah. It happens all the fucking time. Nobody stops and make a deal. They're literally, hey, we got to clean, we got to go. Next up.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Because it's people giving their all.
Well, it's exactly what it is. And it's also, we know it happens, you know, whether it's nosebleeds, you know, we're peeing, whatever it may be, even injuries, like we know, like, and everybody's fine with it. You know, it's not something, it's not a spectacle. But to new timers,
it is.
You know, either spectators or new timers, performers, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you know, how is the crowd going to take this?
Right.
Or, hey, what am I going to see today? You know what I'm saying? So I've been to meets where people hit me and be like, oh, you see her? It's like, yeah, dude, it happens. Let's not talk about it. Like, you know? And I'd be like, what do you mean? So I got to teach the etiquette to spectators as well, you know?
Right.
Especially letting them know what you're about to see. So, you know.
It is funny, though, because in the world of radio, I have to make blog posts, and every time Mikhail Shivlikov, the strong man from Russia. With the
beret.
Yes, with the beret. He bleeds every single time he deadlifts.
Yeah. He's known, single nostril or double?
Single.
Okay. He's known, the guy you're talking about.
Yeah.
He was one of the first ones to have a double barrel.
Yeah.
Like where he shot.
Yep.
It was pretty epic to see both nostrils.
Every single time that he deadlifts, I'm like, all right, I've got a blog post. Watch this Russian deadlifter bust his nose on whatever kilogram deadlift.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of reasons for that. You know, we can get into those later or today or whatever you want to do. But you know, there's blood pressure and. You know, it happens.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
You know, it's just like we don't stop the show. We're like, oh, he's a bleeder. Get going.
Yeah. Next up. Wipe it up.
Yeah.
Next up.
Yeah. Disinfect. Clean the bar. Let's go. You know. And speaking of, even hand rips. You know, hand rips on deadlift. You know, calluses will go. You know.
Yeah.
Like you don't see, but I ain't touching that. That's disgusting. Like I quit.
Right.
You don't see that.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, dude, man, must have given it his all. Like that's an awesome tug. Sorry you didn't get it. All right, next up.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes.
Yeah.
You know.
So. For sure. Other people who competed, my wife Liz, she competed.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh,
she's amazing.
She killed it. And then also Brittany in her return to powerlifting from a strong woman hiatus. You know, both of them did fantastic. The one that sticks out to me is Liz's second squat.
Yeah,
because Joe Jordan was the judge for was that front judge and
head judge,
head judge. Thank you. And I'm sitting there, I'm recording, and she goes, and it's just barely coming up. Like
that's her sticking point, which is every Sunday.
Yep. Every single time, and it is just barely eking up, and I'm like, Joe, don't you dare call it, and she gets it, gets through. Joe looks at me afterward and goes, I was gonna call it. I'm like, she would have bit your head off if you had called it. And then on the third one, he let it go a lot longer again because she just was a grinder right there.
And then hit downward motion and they got her.
Yeah.
So to kind of talk about that real quick, from a coaching perspective, when I see that happen, I have to know, and the first time I've coached her for years now, from CrossFit now to powerlifting. And in CrossFit we squat, so it's not a lot different in my opinion. But like to know with her, maybe it was you, okay? And on your second one, you just gave it literally 115%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come up to you and be like, hey Austin, we're gonna pass your third.
Yeah.
Okay, like, and you'll be like, all right, brother, that sounds good. Let's get ready for bench.
Yeah.
So with her, I literally watched that second attempt and I'm like, where do I take her? Like I wanted her to have all of her attempts and she was still safe. And with her, I've watched it in CrossFit. She can make a lift look shitty and she'll turn around. She's like, should I build? I'm like, oh. twos, because I know she'll listen to what I'm cueing her and she'll go do it.
Yeah.
She may not get it, but it'll at least have cleaned up and it'll look better.
Sure.
So I'm literally sitting there, I was like, where the do I take her? And I took her 2.5, I think I took her 2.5 kilos just to give her another attempt. And you know, we saw the third attempt unfold there.
Yeah.
But she got back up to the same spot. We're grinding it, and then she went down. So, you know, could she have grinded out another one? That was my gamble. You know, so
absolutely.
It depends on your athletes and things, and where I make my calls. But like generally, my bigger guys, no man, you're done. You're done, because it's not worth, you know, you fighting and throwing the energy out there to then be tired for bench and deadlift. So. You know,
and then Brittany missed on her second squat due to
she beat me on the call, and she shot up smoked it.
Oh yeah,
her opener to her second, you know, and she had numbers, and then warming up, you know, I made a judgment call to open her a little lighter for her mental sake, and so she smoked her second compared to her opener, but she beat me. So on the third one, I gave her, you know, I gave her the same exact number. I said, look, we got to get this. And I'm calling her down, and like when we talk about the rules, you know, I've discussed this. You have to be hip crease below knee.
Yep.
And she's literally at knee.
Yeah.
And to circle back to the second, one of the guys, and you know, I love the sport. You know, I love when people come up and you know they want to talk to you guys and things like that. But you know, there's just certain times like, hey, she just sat down, she just got to lift. This is my job. Let me do my job. Let me talk to my athlete. Yeah. And this guy came up and said, "Man, you were right there." And I'm standing behind. I was like, "No, you weren't." He's like, "You had that." No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
And she's like, you know, he's like, you know, I don't know this and I don't know that. It's like, you weren't there. You were 2 inches. You beat me. But I'm like, okay, guy, and I'm being nice, but at the same time, like, can I go do my job?
Right.
So finally, I get in there. I look at her. I was like, you were not there. You beat me. We're gonna go get it.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting her down there, and she's literally at fucking parallel, man. Like she didn't have any room to go below.
Yeah.
So she'll tell you the story. She's like, Alan, you're like down. She's like, Alan, I couldn't go nowhere. So finally on the second down, I was like up. And I look up, and the system had busted for a little bit, so I had to look for thumbs.
Yeah.
And she got 3 thumbs and got the lift and saved that. So that was pretty fucking epic, you know, to see as well.
Yeah.
But I felt bad because
when we say she held,
get down.
She held. It was a pause squat.
Because I was trying, like, you have to. So this is the stress of coaching. You know, like when you got, I want you one day there with me to watch what it's like. Like literally. So you see her, and I know you can't see on the table, but you guys can see here. The hip is above, so I gotta get that motherfucker down to get a good call. It wasn't, man. It was literally parallel. But I'm like, fuck, man, she can't go any lower. She's literally stuck.
Yeah.
So what you said was a pause. So to take 142 kilos from a paused squat, and still go get it, like. It was amazing. Yeah. So good job to her. You know, but I was trying to do my job to get her in because I know how the judges are. Yeah. You know, and we can, you know, all the beef here lately between, you know, raw squats and geared squats and parallel, it is we all still have the same standards, and my job is to get you guys to meet those rules. So
absolutely. Yeah,
but that was a tough one because I was like, you have nowhere to go. You're there, so just get up, save it, and then she got it. So 3 thumbs. You're like, not even 3 white lights. We got 3 thumbs up.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I don't think I ever heard you call down for me. Like I just.
So you're a fat. I'm down, but you go so fast on your descent. So as soon as you start and I see you tighten your back up, I'm like, you start, I'm like down, and then like you go. So then I got to be like up, you know. And then that's the part I heard. I downed you, but you're a quick descender. Yeah. You don't struggle. On the regardless of the weight, it's you're still the same descent. Yeah. Exactly. So funny we're talking about this. There's a post. I think Squat University put it out. He's like, oh, you can hit depth with an empty bar, but you can't hit depth with a loaded weight. He's like, and I'd have to go back to read the post exactly, but he's like, oh, you know, your form is off. And I'm like, no, you're not ready for the weight. Yeah. Right. Like if you just hit depth, perfectly fine, calves, ankles, chest, back, all this stuff, all your angles are perfect with an unloaded barbell, but you can't do that with a loaded barbell. Right. You're not comfortable with the weight. We got to get you comfortable with that weight. She'll take anything. She'll take any weight. She'll get it down. We may not get it, but it all looks the same, which is good. Regardless of the weight on her back, it's not like, oh, fuck, you know, Jesus, this is 280. You know, let me go slow with it. No, she'll drop it. Yeah. Do we get it? Who knows what the day calls for? But you know, we might have to get her back up. But she descends the same way.
Man, I wish I had that skill. I don't got
the ascent is what gets thrown.
Well, and that's where he gets antsy with me because it's like I'll hit the bottom and then he's like, okay. And he's ready, and he's like ready to spot me up because he's like, "Are you doing this? Do I?" And he's like following me up, and I'm like, "Don't touch me!" You know, it's like this demon comes out.
Yeah,
So yeah,
she's not even fucking kidding.
Yeah.
Like I'll stand and I'll like I'm about to double dutch. And I'm just over here. I'm like,
and I'm watching his face, and
I'm
the
waiting for the
panic's
jump
coming
ropes
through.
to go, and
Yeah.
I'm like, when do I go? And she's going through it, and she'll snap at me. Don't fucking touch my bar. And you're like, and I just stop, and I'm like, look forward. Like, but like she's not lying. She's done it to me.
It's like the awkward head nod to Joe.
Scaring the shit out of her, scaring the shit out of me. I'm like, what do I do? You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Then other guys from the J-Bo.
Yep.
J-Bo
J-Bo put up a good performance.
Dude,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Crazy awesome seeing him hit some PRs.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 years. He said since his last deadlift PR.
Yeah.
So to put that into this meet, you know, was a huge thing for him.
Yeah.
So
fantastic. Is there anyone else?
Travis.
Travis, thank you.
Travis. Yep.
Travis had a great meet too. He struggled with.
I didn't get to see. I've heard the bench. He beat it. He needed his third bench to stay in the meet, and he got it.
He got it.
Yeah.
But it was he missed on his first two. It was a grind for him. But I tell you what, he got it.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, 3 attempts, he got the third.
Exxon's client Jeremy. He ended up winning his class and best lifter in the junior junior category.
Yeah.
Put up a bunch of PRs across the board. So good job to Jeremy and Exxon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that was the Iron Brawl, which you can find out all the results on all of our various Instagrams and Twitters. At Radio Guy Austin, at Karie with a K, and that's all. You can see it right here. At Karie with a K, and that's at Alan Pilley.
All this, you can see all this right there.
Right there. Maybe it's over here if I point over
It really depends on where the Jody wants to fucking put it.
Yeah, Jody!
Here, you could split it. You know?
Flashing.
Yeah.
He's so mad because this is tomorrow's episode. He's like, I don't know if I have time for this. Moral of the story is, you can find us on all those social medias. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to do all the things. And we will see you. Shut up, man. I'm outroing.
Finger points.
Hey, goodbye, everybody.
Good finger.
We're talking world records.
Peace out.
Goodbye. We're talking world records next.